They told me to keep my eyes down and my mouth shut. Because I was just the milkmaid. No one of importance. No one worth listening to. But I listened. And I saw things. And in time, I knew too much. I lived on Lord Hargrave's estate since I was 12. Up before dawn, sleeves rolled, skirts soaked to the knees. Milk the cows. Rinse the pails. Don't ask questions. But questions don't ask you either. They creep into your bones when things don't make sense. Like why the master's wife wept in the orchard every morning. Or why that man, the steward, came out of her room before sunrise clothes askew. Or why the stable boy disappeared the day after she was caught speaking to him alone. They thought I didn't notice. But I did. It started when I told Maggie, the cook's helper, in confidence. Just a whisper by the fire. They say Lady Hargrave carries a child that's not the Lord's. Maggie's eyes widened. She swore she'd never breathe a word. But words, once spoken, grow legs. And within days, it spread. They called it gossip. I called it truth. And truth, as I learned, is not welcome in a nobleman's hall. The steward came for me at dusk. 2 guards. No warning. No time to run. They dragged me to the great courtyard. Villagers gathered. The baker. The blacksmith's boy. Even old Father Gerin, frowning beneath his hood. I was accused of defamation. Of poisoning a lady's name. Me, a girl who couldn't even read her own charge. The lady said nothing. Just looked away. I expected to be whipped. Maybe sent away. But they wanted a show. They tied me to the post. Right there, beside the manor well. Hands above my head. Feet barely touching the ground. The steward himself would deliver the punishment. 12 lashes. For my tongue. The first lash came like a lightning crack. It caught me across the back. I screamed. I couldn't help it. My shift split, threadbare as it was. My skin with it. The second blow landed lower, hot and sharp. It felt like 1,000 needles tearing across muscle. I gasped for breath, but air wouldn't come. Only the fire of pain, burning me from spine to ribs. The third lash, worse. Not for the pain, though it was there. But for the eyes watching. The children. The people I served every day. They watched my shame. The fourth. I bit my lip. The fifth. I wept. By the sixth, my knees gave way. But they didn't let me fall. They pulled the rope tighter. Let this be a lesson, the steward called. To those who speak when they should be silent. The 7th lash wrapped around my side. It kissed bone. I think I screamed again. I can't be sure. My ears rang with blood. The 8th, 9th, 10th. Each one painful than the last. Drawn out. Deliberate. I bled freely now. My dress soaked, clinging to torn flesh. The rope burned my wrists. My head hung. But I wouldn't beg. Not for them. Not for him. The 11th strike, I saw stars. The 12th. I didn't feel. My body had left me. My soul hovered above, watching a broken girl tied to a post, bleeding beneath the sky. When they cut me down, I crumpled. They didn't give me bandages. Just cold water and shame. I crawled back to the servants' quarters on my own. They kept me on. Didn't send me away. But from that day, no one spoke to me. Not Maggie. Not even the lady. Especially not her. But I still remember. I remember everything I saw. Everything they tried to hide. And sometimes, late at night, I whisper those truths to myself. Quietly. Carefully. Because they never broke my mind. Just my back. I was just the milkmaid. But I knew too much. And they made me bleed for it.